Thank you so much for joining us today. We're going to go ahead and get started with our session on the Tech MBA and Engineering Management programs. It is co-hosted by Michigan Tech's Global Campus and our College of Business. If you have any questions throughout the session, we do encourage you to ask those questions in the chat feature. We're going to stop periodically and address those questions. We'll also have an open Q&A at the very end of our session. But to kind of get things kicked off in that chat feature, we would love to know, where you're joining us from and if this last big winter storm impacted you. How much snow did you get? And while you guys are chatting in there, I'm going to go ahead and get our session kicked off. There we go. So the agenda, we'll go through some introductions, an overview of Michigan Tech, then we'll jump into the Tech MBA program and our engineering management program in a lot more detail. We'll cover a couple of student success stories, and then we'll transition to what are your next steps and who are your contacts if you have any questions. And again, we will have an open Q&A at the end of the session. So introductions. My name is Amanda. I'm the Graduate Admissions Manager for our Global Campus. I am happy to be joined by Dr. Manish Srivastava, professor from the College of Business and actually our Associate Director for the two online programs that you're going to be learning about today. I also want to introduce Shelly Gallia. She's our Marketing and Content Manager and really does a ton of behind-the-scenes work for us. So not always presenting, but doing all of the heavy lifting in the background, preparing our presentations, helping us along in the chat feature here. And so we really appreciate all of her support as well. So for those that aren't familiar with Michigan Tech, we'll go over a brief overview here. So Michigan Tech was founded in 1885 with a focus at the time on metallurgy and mining engineering and technology to help support the local copper mining industry. We were originally known as Michigan Mining School. As of February 2025, we are designated as an R1 university by the Carnegie Classification of Institutions for Higher Ed. So that is formally placing Michigan Tech among the top research universities in the U.S. We are one of just 187 universities nationally to earn that designation out of more than 4,000 universities nationwide. So we are really, really proud of that designation. And it's based on our research activity and the number of doctoral degrees that we award each year. Fast forward 140 years from our founding, and we are now an HSTEM university focusing on health, science, technology, engineering, and math. Complementing that HSTEM focus is our Accredited College of Business. And we'll talk more about how STEM is integrated into our business programs and is really a differentiator here at Michigan Tech. So our enrollment is over 7,400 students in the grad and undergrad programs. About 80% of that is our undergraduate students, 20% of that is our graduate student population. We have 5 colleges with over 140 degree programs in business, computing, engineering, forest resources and environmental science, and our sciences and arts. And then more recently, our global campus, which I work for, was launched in 2021, and we continue to grow with over 40 degree and certificate programs that are available fully online. And with that, I'm going to hand things over to Manish to get started in telling us more about the Tech MBA. Manish.
Thank you, Amanda, and thank you everyone for joining today's session. And as Amanda mentioned, I'm a professor of strategy and innovation in the College of Business and also the associate director for the graduate programs, the MBA and MEM programs. Can you go to the next slide, Amanda, please? So here are a few factors that really distinguish our online MBA program. It's a robust, respected 30-credit program built on Michigan Tech's reputation for rigorous high quality education and delivered by faculty who bring deep expertise and real world experience into the classroom. It's also AACSB accredited, meaning it meets the standards of a leading global accrediting body and undergoes rigorous review across learning outcomes, resources, strategy, and engagement, and something not all programs achieve. Another key differentiator is the integration of STEM industry and business, which is rooted in our technological university environment and creates a highly relevant modern business education. Finally, there is a strong emphasis on real world applied learning, where students use business cases to analyze and solve practical challenges in a STEM and technology context. Next. The program is a 30-credit degree designed to provide both a strong business foundation and some flexibility for students. The majority of the program, 24 credits across 8 courses, is made up of core business requirements. These courses cover key areas like finance, marketing, operations, and strategy. In addition, students complete 6 credits or 2 courses of business electives, which allow them to tailor the program to their interest or career goals. Overall, the structure ensures a well-rounded business education. Next. In this program, students build core skills in decision-making, leadership, and strategy, with a strong emphasis on innovation, technology, and entrepreneurship, preparing them to lead in tech-driven environments. They also apply what they learn to real-world, tech-focused businesses while developing the ability to clearly communicate and defend their recommendations. At the same time, students strengthen their ability to use data analytics, critical thinking, and visualization tools to make informed, data-driven decisions. Next. All courses are delivered in a 7-week fully online format. Core courses are offered in the fall and spring semesters, organized into 2 tracks, Track A and Track B. This structure allows students to maintain focus while progressing steadily toward the program. Overall, it provides a flexible yet consistent schedule designed for working professionals. Next. Here's a list of some of the elective courses, and those are offered in summer, but this is not the exhaustive list, just a sample list which is available in the summer semester. Okay, next. Now we'll also talk about the other graduate program, which is the Master of Engineering Management, or the MEM program. Okay. The MEM program is also a 30-credit degree. Students complete a combination of foundational business courses and a STEM or engineering-focused component, allowing them to build both management and technical expertise. Depending upon their background and goals, students take 4 to 6 courses in each area, creating a flexible and customizable pathway. It's also worth noting that there are 3 of the core courses overlap with the MBA program, providing a shared foundation in key business concepts while still maintaining a distinct, more technical focus overall. So while there is some overlap, the MEM is intentionally designed to go deeper into technical domains and prepare students for a different career path. Next. The MEM is a specialized STEM designated master's degree that places a higher emphasis on technical domains, as I mentioned earlier. The program is designed to prepare students for leadership roles in technical environments. It does this by bridging business and STEM, helping students translate their technical background into effective management and decision making in tech-focused organizations. Students also build a strong foundation in business and management, including areas like operations, finance, and leadership, while continuing to develop their technical expertise from their undergraduate studies. At the same time, they strengthen their leadership and project management skills, preparing them to lead teams and navigate complex real-world challenges. Next. Here's a sample course schedule that covers 5 courses, showing that they can be completed in 1 year, taking 2 courses per semester, including the summer. MEM students can complete the degree in 5 semesters as long as the technical elective courses are available online at that time. Next, please. And here is just more sort of a detailed sample of the curriculum for the MEM program across like fall, spring, and the summer semesters. Next, please. If course waivers are required, students will need to contact the appropriate department's advisor for assistance. From COB, we can offer waivers for the COB courses. So you can email me or Amanda to receive the MEM curriculum guide if you need more information. Next, please. These 2 graduate program options, the Tech MBA and the MEM, both build strong foundational business knowledge and skills. However, they differ in focus and career outcomes. At a high level, the Tech MBA provides a broad business education, preparing students for a wide range of roles across industries. In contrast, the MEM is a more specialized, blended program that integrates business and technical knowledge with a focus on leadership in engineering and technology-driven environments. Next. There are multiple career pathways available to graduates of both programs. Many students use the degree to move into middle management roles, taking on greater responsibility within their organizations. Others pursue entrepreneurship using the skills they have developed to start their own business or venture. The program also helps students expand and diversify their career opportunities, opening doors across industries and roles. And for many, this is an opportunity to retool or reskill for the future, gaining the knowledge needed to stay competitive in a rapidly evolving job market. Next. And we will also share some student success stories. Can you go to the next slide, please? Okay. So here is a great example of how students turn their ideas into real world impact through opportunities like pitch competitions and programs such as Husky Innovate. Students are able to take their ideas beyond the classroom, refining them, getting feedback, and building them into viable solution. In this case, Jacob Sauter developed SwimSmart, a technology solution designed to reduce drownings and ultimately save lives. His work combines both hardware and software into a practical, scalable system. What's especially powerful here is how this reflects the hands-on entrepreneurial environment of the program, where students are not just learning concepts, but actively applying them to create meaningful innovation. It's a great example of how students can leverage their experience here to launch ventures that make a real difference. Next. Here is another example of a powerful student outcome, this time focused on confidence and career growth. Justin Davis came into the program not fully confident in his place, but through the Tech MBA, he developed the business skills and confidence to contribute in any professional setting. His story shows that the value of the program is not just technical or academic. It's also about building the confidence to step into new opportunities and lead. Today, he is successfully managing a career in visual content creation and filmmaking, applying both his creative background and the business skills he gained in the program. It's a great example of how the Tech MBA can support career growth, even in industries like film and media, by strengthening both capability and confidence. So, can you go to the next slide, Amanda? Okay. So maybe I'll hand it over to you now.
Thank you, Manish. That was really great information, and I really enjoyed our success stories that were shared there. I want to pause for just a second. We covered a lot of program information and ask Shelly, has there been any questions for clarification on anything before we move into the next steps?
No, just a lot of talking about the storm.
All right. Well, then we'll go ahead and move forward with next steps. So we got you a lot of really good background information, some really good program information. If this is an opportunity that you're looking to take advantage of, let's talk about what you do next. So really the first thing I wanted to touch on is understanding the time commitment that it takes for an online program. And so the courses are 3 credit hours. So each 3 credit hour course that you're going to take, you're going to want to account for about, 8 to 12 hours per week dedicated to that course. Of course, it's going to depend on your background and your learning pace. It may take you a little less than other people. It may take you a little more than other people. But, a lot of our online students are managing this time in addition to potentially a full-time job or other obligations that they have after work with family or extracurriculars and things like that. So it's really, really important when you're deciding to, apply and start this program that you're accounting for that time commitment. The other thing that's really important is being able to allocate the appropriate amount of time for lectures and assignments and keeping yourself on schedule, because our online courses are fast-paced. Manish mentioned that those courses run in 7-week tracks each semester, and so they're moving really quickly through that material in those 7-week sessions. The other thing that we want to mention here too is that the program is delivered in an asynchronous format. So rather than meeting with your students and professor on a specific day at a specific time, like you would if you were on campus, you're going to have flexibility to access the course and materials in the time that makes sense for your schedule each week. You're working full time, got to run the kids to practice. You're not going to get on maybe till 9 or 10 o'clock at night sometimes. And so that flexibility is amazing to have in your schedule to be able to continue towards your education goals. But it's really, really important that you are staying on top of your schedule and allocating the appropriate amount of time each week. You don't want to wait until the end of the week and cram everything in before a deadline on a Sunday night. So just make sure that you're looking over, what is the commitment for the week? What are my deadlines for my assignments this week? What are the materials that we're covering? And then plugging those into your schedule and staying on top of that. A lot of self-discipline is required for an online program. Additionally, you may want to look ahead for times when there are exam weeks, or maybe there's some major projects that would be coming up. And so we give you that rough, 8 to 12 hours a week, but it may be additional time commitment when we're working on studying for an exam or adding in some time for major projects. So again, just highlighting the importance of managing your schedule being very aware of what's being asked of you in your class and plugging it into your week. You also want to maintain regular engagement to avoid falling behind. So don't wait till the end of the week to get into your class. Definitely be logging into your course, checking on those deadlines. And, if there's something that's unclear, it's very, very important in this asynchronous format that you reach out to your instructor as soon as there's any doubt in your mind about what something is. You want to make sure you have clarity, and it is more your responsibility with this flexibility in the asynchronous format that you reach out, because your instructors aren't going to be able to see you once a week and see the confusion on your face if they're talking about something and ask those questions. So it's really, really important that you have that self-discipline and that you reach out and keep those lines of communication open to be successful in the courses. So we'll kind of switch over and talk about what those admission requirements look like. One of the key things we'd like to mention up front is that we don't require a GMAT or a GRE. So there is no entrance exam or anything that's required for you to complete, and the application is also free. We don't have an application fee. Beyond that, we do require that you have a bachelor's degree from an accredited institution. So we have a lot of students coming into this program from all sorts of different disciplines. So as long as you've got a bachelor's degree from an accredited institution, you've met that first requirement. Admitted applicants typically have a GPA of 3.0 or higher on a 4-point scale. Now, that is not like a hard cutoff requirement for applying to the program. The application and the review process is holistic, and they take a look at, your academic history, your work history. There's some references that they'll look at too, and they'll take a look at things as a whole. But generally speaking, we do want students to have good academic standing in their undergraduate degree programs when applying. Requirements that you're going to have to submit with your application. So we will need a copy of your transcripts when you apply. We will need you to provide a copy of your resume. There is a personal statement and a statement of purpose that you will have to write. Now, those are relatively short statements. They're character limited. I think they're 2,000 and 3,000 characters. So not words, but characters. So relatively short. And we will give you prompts inside of the application to tell you what to write about. But in general, that personal statement is going to give you an opportunity to tell us more about you, what is unique about you, to address any gaps you might have in your application, or anything else that we need to know about you in this application. The statement of purpose is going to focus more on your career and education goals. Why are you pursuing this program? What do you want to gain out of it? So just telling us why you're applying to the program. There are 2 recommendation letters that are required as part of the admissions process as well. We usually recommend that at least one of those references be an academic reference. We do understand, though, that some people are pretty far removed from those academic relationships. Maybe you've been in the workforce for 5-10 years and you don't have that relationship still to ask for that recommendation. And so it is okay to use professional recommendations, but where possible, include an academic reference in there as well. Another thing we want to note here is that if you're joining us and you are either a current Michigan Tech student getting ready to graduate, or you recently graduated within the last 2 years, there is an accelerated program option for you where you might be able to take advantage of double counting some credits. I think it's up to 6 credits towards the MBA, or up to 9 credits towards the engineering management program. Now that requires some conversations up front and review of your transcripts, but if you fall within that window as a Michigan Tech upcoming grad or recent alum, you'll definitely want to connect with the department and have those conversations, because that's an added benefit for you.
Amanda?
Yes.
May I interrupt for a second? A question has just come in. Can I ask it?
Yeah.
Are the core courses for either program sequenced or scheduled where it makes more sense to start in either the fall or the spring semester? So I guess is there a sequence of courses that have to be followed?
Manish?
Yeah, so it's better to start either in summer or in fall. So summer, you can start with some of the elective courses that do not have prerequisites. So you can start with some of those courses, or you start in fall. That's a better sequence. Then you take courses in spring that have some prerequisites that you have already taken in the fall semester.
Other questions, Shelley?
No, that was it for now.
Okay. So we talked about next steps. Here is kind of the timeline that we'll talk about then. There is still time for students to apply to the upcoming summer semester. So our summer semester begins May 4th. I would give yourself probably, at least a couple of weeks processing time from completing your application. After you complete your application, it can take up to 1 to 2 weeks to get an admission decision. And then we'll need to get you your student login information. And there's a couple other steps after that to get you registered. And so giving yourself a couple of weeks after completion before the start of the semester would be good. You can see there, we did make a note that you will likely be starting with elective courses if you start in the summer, which is totally fine. Just giving you a heads up there that that's typically what's offered in the summer. Our fall semester application is available right now as well. Our fall semester begins August 31st. And actually, just a week or two ago, we opened the registration for our fall semester. So you could apply, get through the admissions process, and actually secure your seat in the courses and be planning for fall as early as right now. And then our spring semester starts in January, and that application is available right now as well. So the application, I talked a little bit about the admission requirements, and here we'll just kind of talk the details of how you actually apply. So you will have to create an application portal account. So there's a web address here in the page. I'm sure we'll share that in the chat as well. But you'll create an account with an email address and a password. Then you'll insert a graduate school application. Within that application, it's going to ask you some background information, some education history. It's going to ask you which program you're applying to, and you'll submit that application. I believe there's like a 10 or 15-minute lag after submitting, but when you refresh the page, you're going to see an admissions checklist, and that's where you're going to upload some of those supporting documents that I was talking about. So you'll upload your transcripts, you'll upload your resume in that checklist. You'll see when your references come back from your recommenders, those will get checked off on the list. And then there'll be a form link for you to follow to insert your personal statement and your statement of purpose. Once everything is completed on that checklist, again, it will be reviewed by our grad school admissions office and then sent to the program for review and an admission decision. Those admission decisions can come back within a couple of days sometimes, but usually it's going to be about a week, maybe 2 weeks at the most. We usually have pretty quick decision making in this department, and we appreciate that. After that, you would work with me one-on-one to get you some additional details on who to contact, how to plan out your classes, and how to schedule.
Amanda, we do have a
Yes.
question that just came in.
Yep.
Are there any courses focused on artificial intelligence included in the curriculum? Or is there an option to select one of these courses, perhaps as an elective?
That's a great question. Manish?
So for the MEM program, you can actually take several courses from AI data science, like up to 12 to 15 credits. So yes, that's surely an option if you're thinking about, but maybe the MEM program. For the MEM programs, you can take 1 or 2 courses and we can look at to approve those as an elective.
Great. So a little more flexibility in the engineering management program for those courses, and then maybe those elective courses in the MBA program. Other questions, Shelley?
No, that was it.
Okay. So we covered through all of the next steps, and I just want to make sure that you guys know I'm available for you too. That is my job with the Global Campus, is to help students through the inquiry and application process. So if you have any questions after this session, you get hung up on any steps in your application, need anything at all, you can schedule an appointment with me. We can do a virtual appointment over Zoom. We could do a quick phone appointment. I've done 5-minute appointments, just have 1 or 2 questions. I've sat with students for up to 40 minutes and we've talked through every detail. So whatever you need, just know that I am available. You can get on my calendar and we can chat one-on-one. We also wanted to share some information here where you can dive deeper into the program. So we covered a lot of really good information, but we want you to have access to the program pages. So we will share those in the chat. But there is a landing page for our MBA program that covers a lot of the details we covered today. There's a landing page for our engineering management program, again, covering a lot of these details. But in addition to me being a resource for you, Manish, as the associate director for the graduate program, is always happy to take any program questions and respond to student inquiries. So we will share his email address there. And Laura Shawhan is the graduate program assistant, equally capable of responding and giving you some really great answers to some of your questions. But this really concludes the informational part of our session. So I'm going to go ahead and stop our recording.